Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a Perry County woman celebrates her 10-year-long victory over drug addiction and the efforts she makes to help others like her. And a couple in our region use their church to help others learn the Word of God while fighting their own battles with drug addiction.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
6:31 here. It's Monday. I'm Dakota Makris, and well, like I've said, thanks for waking up with us. I have nothing else to say. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at our forecast this morning, who has a lot to say this morning. You know, sometimes you either have a lot to say or you just
don't have anything to say.
Nothing to say. But this morning, you're busy.
Here's a good thing. It's not a lot of action. It looks very active on the satellite radar loop. But again, I think it's more high elevation accumulation this morning. So we're kind of treating this like a first alert weather day, even though it's not an official one. So that's why we're kind of going and giving you an in-depth look at this week, because this is not the only chance of snow we're going to have to see this week. Let's take a look at satellite radar the last 6 hours. Now you see it's kind of coming in from the north and west. That's following the winds there, trying to warm up a little bit in some areas this morning. We zoom out to kind of give you a bigger picture, and here's what's happening. That low sitting right off of West Virginia is pulling moisture off of the Great Lakes, and that's spinning counterclockwise. So those winds are pulling it right into this area here along the Kentucky, West Virginia, and Virginia borders. So anywhere above 2,000 feet, close to Pine Mountain there, close to 2,000 feet there this morning. I think it's about 1,100 feet up there, close to 1,200 feet. You're seeing some snow accumulation on the grass, but nothing on the road at this point. Now, again, temperatures are still going down, so be aware of that. That's why those school closings and delays, you can see those on the bottom of your screen right there, more being added all of the time this morning. The only two counties under a winter weather advisory, Lee and Wise counties, and only for the highest elevations. Temperatures out there pretty chilly this morning, close to freezing or just above in a lot of areas this morning. There's those northwest winds gusting up to, or this is not even gusts, it's just current speed, 13 miles per hour at Wise, 10 at Pikeville. So the wind chills are going to be a factor for you this morning. Your breakfast forecast, snowflakes for most of it. Again, it's kind of funny. Frosted weather weeks and snowflakes. So there you go. So we're looking again at the snow showers continuing in scattered form all the way through your morning there. Should taper off sometime this afternoon. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. Well, today, a man accused of killing a London police officer is due in court. Police say Casey Bird drove drunk and crashed into the cruiser of Officer Logan Medlock in October. Bird's charges include murder and DUI. A not guilty plea was entered for him days after the crash. He's been in jail since his arrest on a $1 million bond. This morning's pretrial conference is set for 9 o'clock. There will be an increased police presence at Floyd County Schools today. Floyd County Schools says the district was made aware of a social media post containing a threat to Betsy Lane High School on Friday. Well, the Floyd County Sheriff's Office investigated the incident and found the threat to not be credible. Abortion rights advocates gathered in Lexington on Sunday during the 50th anniversary of the proclamation of Roe v. Wade. A trigger law in Kentucky banned abortions after a heartbeat is detected and after 6 weeks of pregnancy. Protesters say this law is hurting access to women and health care. In November, a majority of Kentuckians voted against Amendment 2, which would have given the legislative branch more direct control over abortion rules. The organizer of the rally says it's upsetting they have to continue to come out and take a stand for their rights.
I am disappointed that this is where we are, but I'm not surprised that this happened. We've seen this kind of attack happen repeatedly. We've seen steps being taken up to this, so it's very sad that it got this far.
Planned Parenthood representatives plan to have a lobbying day at the state capitol on February 14th. They encourage people to come out and talk to their local legislatures. Well, a researcher at the University of Kentucky is leading a study that could help combat food insecurity. Feeding America estimates 1 in 8 people face hunger in the Commonwealth. The research is focused on finding ways to produce larger crop seeds, allowing farmers to increase their grain yields.
We use a unique technology called confocal microscopy. We can actually see inside without killing the seed. So the seed is developing, but actually we can see through what's happening in a time-lapse manner. By manipulating these cable dynamics, we found the seeds can be bigger or seeds can be smaller.
The research team is not directly working with farmers yet, but that is something they are working towards in the long run through further research. As the Commonwealth continues to fight its battle with drug addiction, a Perry County woman is celebrating being free from it for 10 years. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox talked with Ruby Gayhart about how she found a way to turn defeat into victory.
They call it Hazard IOP, a place where those struggling with addiction can come for counseling. Coordinating it all is Ruby Gayhart.
Some days can be stressful, but when you have clients that come in here and are getting jobs, you know, and getting their kids back, it's just truly amazing.
Not long ago, Ruby was walking through that door herself. She spent years addicted to different drugs before one day deciding to turn herself in to local police.
And that's the best day of my life when I thought it was tough. I was scared, you know, and here I went to the state police post and turned myself in. And I remember that state police smiling, said, "You made my job easy," and here I am all tore up inside. But from that day forward, I haven't looked back.
Ruby participated in drug court, where she decided education would be a good route to go.
Drug court also had given me a gift of a chance, an opportunity to change my life. And during that time, you had a choice to go back to school or work, and I chose to go back to school.
A few years later, she walked the line at Lindsey Wilson College, graduating with a master's degree in counseling. Now her story is an inspiration not only as a professional, but also as a mother and grandmother after winning a battle her family has long fought.
I truly believe, and I call it a curse, that curse has been broken. My daughters are doing amazing. They both work, responsible, and I think that them seeing my experience made a difference.
Ruby was recently baptized, saying she now sees God's purpose for her life. And Hazard, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Gayhart said she spent time living in a homeless shelter called Corner Haven in Hazard, which was a big help for her. Now that it's closed, she hopes another organization will build a shelter. After battling with addiction for more than 1 decade, Scott Phipps and his wife Tammy founded the North Main Community Church in Knox County, opening their arms to anyone who wants to learn more about God. Recently, Phipps says the church has been growing, inspiring him to begin hosting a revival, but this gathering lasted beyond just a few days. Phipps says the revival has been happening for 80 days now, offering a safe place and a sense of stability for those in recovery.
Me naturally thinking, this is pretty good, you know, we can really, but you have so many, when I say young, I don't mean necessarily young in age, but a lot of young in age, they'll be like, I can't wait till tomorrow night. I hope this never stops. So especially those coming out of addiction, they look forward every night for this, where they can, you know, they have gives them hope, stability. I know I can come every night if I've been struggling.
Phipps' wife Tammy also runs Hope City Rehabilitation while their son is over another rehabilitation center called Redemption Road. The family has devoted their lives to recovery and sharing the Word of God. Phipps says it is really a full circle moment that he feels grateful for every day.
Coming up on 6:40 here on this snowy Monday morning, especially outside the WYMT studios. I'm about to post a video of that on social media here in just a little bit, but you see some rain trying to mix in there, maybe at the higher levels of the atmosphere, not quite so much at the ground level, because we're seeing snow across parts of the region. The temperatures don't support the rain, they're supporting the snow at this point. Now basically from, let's call it Manchester east, that's where the snow is falling this morning, but you've got the air temperatures for it out toward the west as well. We're kind of keeping an eye on that. Your out the door forecast is going to feature some snow showers this morning. I think they'll start to taper off by this afternoon. Temperatures will continue to drop for a little while before heading back into the mid to upper 30s a little bit later today under cloudy skies. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. At 6:40, still to come here on Mountain News this morning. A case of measles in Kentucky is traced to an outbreak in Ohio as health leaders work to get people vaccinated against the virus.
Stop